Hello there everyone, it's Nathan of HMO2 and I'm here to share with you all my latest obsession, Tree of Savior. Tree of Savior is an MMORPG developed as a spiritual successor to Ragnarok Online. If you purchase a Founders Pack on Steam, you can play the game a month early before release, otherwise the game will be free to play in April. The game, at the time of this recording, has been out for a week, and I've put in so many hours into the game, and I really want to do a first impressions. So, without taking up too much time, here we go. I first want to talk about what I believe is the strongest aspect of the game, and that is the visuals. If you can't tell from the gameplay footage, the visuals are beautiful. The game has sort of this watercolor-esque element to it when it comes to the backgrounds and the artwork of the game. The game is similar to Ragnarok in visual style, but it's been a decade since that game was released and improves on its predecessor's already gorgeous visuals. Animations are incredibly smooth as well, with monsters, character spells, and even just your character's movement animations look really solid and incredibly fluid in game. The only complaint I have with the visuals of the game is that the frame rate drops almost drastically at random times or when there's a lot going on screen. Now keep in mind, I have a very good graphics card and a pretty solid PC overall, and I shouldn't have problems with the hardware limitations, but I seem to have frame drops occasionally. I don't know if this is due to servers, but yeah, it's there, so keep that in mind. Despite weird frame drops occasionally, this game looks gorgeous and it is absolutely stunning. If anything, this is one of the main reasons to play the game. This game is absolute eye candy. Tree of Savior is your standard MMORPG affair. You kill monsters, get better equipment to level up, to kill more monsters, get better equipment to level up again, and rinse and repeat. Now that's Tree of Savior at its most basic. Where the depth lies is in the classes and how you form your own character. Now Tree of Savior has 4 basic classes: an archer, warrior, cleric, and wizard. Now when you level up through the game, there's 2 levels you can get: a character level and a class level. When you hit class level 15, you have the option of job advancing to one of 2 choices. For example, a wizard who reaches class level 15 can upgrade to either a cryomancer or a pyromancer. These classes play completely different from each other and add variety to the class selection in the game. This is where things get tricky. Instead of straight up job advancing, you can actually just upgrade the class you already possess into these things called circles or tiers. For example, a cryomancer has 4 skills naturally. If you decide to circle a cryomancer, you actually get an additional 2 skills, making the total 6. This leads to insane combinations of classes because you can decide to circle, you can just straight up job advance, and even if you job advance, you can go back and circle any classes that you previously missed or add any that you previously missed. This provides an array of combinations that keeps the game from getting too stale with the character classes. It also makes it so that no 2 characters are completely the same. But this comes with a consequence. You can actually completely screw over your character if you don't plan accordingly with the classes. Some classes' skills don't synergize well, and some even require different weapons to activate. Some attributes don't even coincide with certain classes, so you have to be very careful when deciding what to do with your character. Now this may seem harsh, and actually a lot of the gameplay elements in the game are pretty harsh and old school, but I actually enjoy this about the game. It is actually really refreshing to play a game that isn't completely forgiving on every little thing you do. You can't be a jack of all trades, you have a specific role, and even if the classes are diverse and you can build a diverse character, there are just things you cannot achieve by yourself. I love this because it encourages you to play with other people, you know, the MM part of MMORPG. Certain monsters are stronger or weaker depending on the element of your attack. Some classes have massive amounts of CC, some don't and are just really good at doing DPS. Some are better against large mobs and some are better at boss fights. The point is that the game is so varied and there are so many weaknesses and strengths that it is encouraged to play with other people to utilize all the strengths to cover the weaknesses. Yes, some classes can solo really well, but that is a rarity in this game. All in all, the gameplay systems are set in place so that you have to play with other people at some point, and I love this a lot because it feels like most MMOs nowadays encourage you just to play by yourself, and that ruins the massively multiplayer part of the genre. The game has additional depth as well with the robust crafting system, the companions, the guilds, the player housing, known as lodges, collections, exploration. There's just a ton of things in this game to do, and I've barely scratched the surface. Now that being said, as much as I enjoyed the gameplay, this game is riddled with bugs, glitches, and bugs galore. And I realize that I am playing the game a month before its official release, but still, some of these bugs actually are game-breaking to a certain extent. There are parts where I got stuck in the game, couldn't finish a quest because there was a glitch or a bug to be had. Again, I take this with a grain of salt because the game is early access right now and it is a month away from release, and no MMORPG gets released right the first day, ever. But despite that, despite the problems with the servers and the glitches, it's still a fun game, but they're there, and it remains to be seen if all of these things will be fixed, as they are small things, but they do kind of inhibit the game, especially for me as I did a long gaming session at the start. Overall, the game has a lot of depth, and killing mobs and grinding is really fun, but glitches. So in conclusion, Tree of Savior, albeit has its problems, is a really fun game. The art style is good, and while the game is indeed grindy, it is pretty fun. As of right now, there's not a lot of info about the game, so there's a lot of discovery to be had, and it's kind of cool to be at the forefront of this kind of thing. If you're not a fan of that Korean style MMO grind, or a fan of the stylized visuals, I would definitely not recommend this game to you. The game is a huge grind, and the visuals are a huge part of the wow factor of the game, so if those don't appeal to you, I don't see any reason to play this game. The one thing I am objectively concerned about is the amount of bugs and glitches in the game's current state. Now these will probably get fixed somewhere down along the line, but it's something to be wary about if you are deciding to buy a Founders Pack or waiting until the game is fully released. Overall, I really enjoyed Tree of Savior. Despite the cons I mentioned, I really like the game and have been addicted to it for the past week, and probably after this video, I'm gonna play more. There's a lot of hidden depth, and the amount of progression that you feel during the game makes it worthwhile to me, and I'm glad that I picked it up. Thank you so much for watching. I know I haven't made a video in a long time, and I'm hoping to change that soon with the upcoming weeks, and I've got actually some videos lined up for you all, so I hope you're here for the journey. If you want to see more, feel free to subscribe, and if you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't like the video, please tell me why in the comments. Constructive criticism is always appreciated. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a good day.